attacking the back here, the back mount. We've secured our hooks. Okay, we can fold it two sides. I can either fold to the overhook side. That's where my the side where my choke arm is, right? So here, the overhook side, and then there's the underhook side, which is the other side here, right, where my arm is under his arm. Okay, this is where we're going to work from today. This is where we have the most options. All right, when we control from here, our elbows pinch in to control the shoulders. My head next to his head. If my head is out here, Theodore puts his head on the mat, and I can loosen. All right. From here, for the stuff we need to do today, we need to have our bottom hook here as a long hook that goes across both his hips. So right now it's just a single hook here. The way I upgrade it is I take my right foot out here and I step on his hip. By stepping, I can bring this leg across his hips. Okay. If I have some mobility issues, I can even hand assist a little bit. I want to see if I can curl my toes around his thigh here and get this leg over the hips. Then I can step my foot on top here to put a lot of weight on his hip here so it's hard for him to turn. Okay. First thing from here, we're going to do, recap just 2 basic arm traps. When I unlock the seat belt, I always want a one-on-one grip on this hand first. So when I open here, I typically look to grab this arm here by the knuckles here and feed it to the other hand. Then he only has one hand left to defend himself with. This is the hand we're going to trap with our leg. First arm trap is pretty simple. I go all the way from the back here. Typically he has his hand up here to try to stop the choke. I go, push the hand down below his chest here. I throw my heel over, and if I can, I want to weave my toes in here. Then I make sure that this foot is on bottom, and I lock my long hook on top. This is the first arm trap. From here, we can go and work for rear naked chokes, okay? So, setup is the same for the other one as well. So we go in here. First, I want one-on-one grip on this hand over here. So I can take my choke hand, grab right over the knuckles here. I'm not grabbing fingers, right over the knuckles, and I can feed to this hand. When he tries to free it, it's super difficult. This grip is so annoying. Now with the other arm, I can look to push this down onto the chest and just throw my leg straight over. If he's a little bit better, this is our second option, sometimes I need to do a cross grip. So what I'm going to do is, I'm still going to grab this hand, I'm going to try to push it down, he resists, and I'm going to switch. So now my left hand lets go, and I switch here. Now I can push the arm below the chest. The other hand can cross grip here, it can go for the neck, and I do the same thing. Weave my foot over, lock my long hook on top of this here, and I pinch my knees and curl my heels in. So this is the first thing we're going to train here. Make sure you have a long hook. When you want to trap the arm, bring the knee high, throw the heel over the wrist. Now, in an ideal world, we can get to the rear naked choke, right? This is what we're hunting for first, because here I just have the most control, and it's basically the most high percentage submission in no-gi grappling to get this, right? So I should really work for it, but we can't always get there, all right? So even if I have everything locked, maybe I'm just dealing with a guy who's just so damn tough. I don't feel like I can get under the chin. I don't feel like I can choke him over the jaw. Maybe my arms are a little bit burned out and I need to switch strategy, okay? From here, we can look to go into back triangles. So I have the arm trap. Here. I have everything and I feel like I can't get it, okay? Here. I need, for me to go into arm triangles, to back triangles, I need this hand and his elbow here over his head. And it's not going to be easy when he's resisting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my choke arm and I'm just going to switch it to the other side of the head here. Here. So before I was in the seat belt here, one arm on each side. I just take this out and I go to here. I still have this one-on-one grip to keep this arm controlled. From here, I want to look to lift up and I want to look to go wrist to wrist here. Here. The other hand goes out and I want to go elbow, wrist to elbow here. So I have these pry grips. If you've ever done preacher curls, it's kind of the same principle we're working with here. Okay? So for the meatheads out here, you have an advantage. So I bring this over. Even Theodore at this point, he may have an idea that I'm trying to get this arm up. So he can really try to keep this down here. I just want to lift and get my wrist to his wrist here. This hand goes under and grabs underneath the elbow. Now I can push away with my legs, and I can do a preacher curl here with a little bit of a cheat, because I can also arch my back, and I can bring this hand over his head. Now I want to tilt him to the other side here. So as soon as I have this arm over the head, I want to tilt him to the other side. From here, I slide down. I want to put my calf to his artery here, and my other leg here, I want to keep it high and keep my knee close to my ankle here. From here, I can grab my foot and lock a back triangle. To finish this, I want to pinch my knees in and pull my heels to my butt here. I can come forward a little bit to push on the head. You can even put a hand behind here to push on the head, okay? Even if we can't get the triangle from here, I can take the arm, bend it over the hips, and go for a really powerful arm lock here. We're looking to switch to this triangle here. First thing we need to do, guys, after we have the arm trapped here, we need to keep this one-on-one. My hand goes to the other side of the body, and look, I open up here, go wrist to wrist. The other hand goes in, and I grab right over the elbow here. You can try to lock your hands, but I have a really, really strong pull here. Locking the hands won't really help stopping this here. So once I have this, guys, I'm curling in, I'm arching my back, and I'm pushing with this leg. As the arm goes over, I bring him to the other side. So we started on one side, we kind of end up seated for a moment, and look how I bring my legs tight here. I want to think about scissoring my legs around his head here. This knee, I want it high up in the armpit here. Then I can look to grab my foot and lock up here. This foot goes behind the back. From here to finish, I can look to pinch my knees together and pull my heels to my butt here. Just keep a nice, tight pinch. If that doesn't work, I can go 2 hands on the wrist and start to bend it over my hip here for a powerful armbar. So guys, the trick is we want to go to bring the inside of our wrist to his wrist so we can force that arm open. Then we tilt them, and when we land on the side here, we want our knees scissored in close together. This is where his head and his arm is. I need to scissor this close in here. In an ideal world, we can always trap the arm, right? And if we can trap the arm, we can either get to the neck or get to the back triangle. Now, sadly, we don't live in an ideal world. Okay? We mess up all the time. Sometimes we can't get stuff to work, so we gotta be ready for plan B, okay? So I'm going here, I feel like I can't trap the arm. I feel like if I open up too much, maybe he's gonna try to explode out, maybe he's gonna try to push this foot down and the position becomes loose. So sometimes I just gotta accept that I can't trap the arm and I'm gonna switch to something else. So what we're gonna do is we still wanna keep this long hook here. I'm gonna take my arm, bring it across, just like I did before, but this time I lock a Kimura grip here. My forearm is in as a frame here. Now I wanna go to an armbar situation, but if I just try to throw my leg over here, over his head, there's a lot of space where you can look to push my legs away, yank the arm out, etc. So I want to make it a small stop here. So what I want to do is I want to get a top lock on his shoulder here. So we keep everything tight here with the Kimura grip. I can hip escape off him by pushing off on the hips here to get a little bit higher. I want to bring my knee close to my chest here, and I just want to chop my heel over. From here, I can look to lock my feet. It's not quite an arm trap, but it's pretty damn close. Now I can tilt him over to the other side, just like we did with the back triangle. So here, I tilt him here with the Kimura grip. Okay. From here, I can try to get my feet on his hands and try to separate them and get back to the back triangle. But sometimes people are really gonna look to fight that foot off because they don't wanna get back triangle. Then I'm gonna bring it over the head. And we're in an armbar position here. Okay, so when we're in an armbar position, I need my heels curling in. Right now I have a Kimura grip, but I wanna switch it to to just be elbow deep here, elbow to elbow here. Just lock your hands, Theodore. From here, we're gonna do a simple grip break. Just hands locked here. We're gonna do a simple grip break where I pull his elbow in, and I want to lean forward and go elbow to wrist on the other side. Typically, to keep this grip, I like to lock a rear naked choke grip, and then I want to fall to the side. And from here, I can start to deadlift. I push over my legs, I extend my spine. At this point, he probably blew out a couple of tendons in his arm, trying to keep it back here. So I want to get it like either a Kimura effect or an Americana effect, where the elbow is in one hip, and I lean towards the other hip with the arm here. So when I extend with my full back, his arm is in a weak position. From here I can straighten out the arm, finish the arm bar. So we get to a place where there's a branching path here, guys. So here, switch the arm to this side. I need the long hook. I can push off to get some space here, and instead of just throwing my leg all the way over, I just bring my heel back and I take it over the top and chop down. I can lock here, push, sit him to the opposite side. From here, if you can push this off and switch to the back triangle, perfect. Sometimes people will look to try to push this leg away, and I like to just bring it over the head for the armbar position. From here, guys, lock your hands, go elbow to elbow here. Then you have a free hand that can go in the mat, you can grab the leg. And when I feel like I'm ready to go, I want to move his elbow to one hip and go elbow to wrist on the other. To keep everything tight, you can lock a rear naked choke grip, and you don't want to fall straight back, you want to fall to the side. So this is rough for the shoulder. Here he's strong, here he's weak, here he's weak. So I lock in, I want to stay on the wrist, I fall to the side, I can push off with my legs, and as I extend my spine, right into an armbar. Guys, we're just throwing the heel over the shoulder and locking, sitting him back, and then we can bring the leg over the head for the armbar.